Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So in the last episode, I did mention about territory management. Briefly touched about what it is about and the importance of it, right? I just wanted to wrap up that conversation today, just to by mentioning a few more things, so that you will understand. So obviously, we spoke about territory management, the importance of having dividing the counts based on territories. Now, that's all good, right? Now, obviously, in Salesforce, you have something called a territory management uh, functionality. So, basically, what do you need to do when you are considering to implement that option, right? That option will make your journey to achieve the territory management much easier, right? So, obviously, the few things you need to factor before you even start working on that aspect. The first thing is the model. So, you need to model your territories, right? So obviously, you can try it out, create a model and see if it's gonna do anything, because the thing with the model is that, right, till you don't publish it, till you don't deploy your model, you don't really get to see any real data implication, right? So once you deploy your model, so what does it do based on your model? It will assign your accounts. It's just like a model, right? So it's like a model you have in place. You create a model, and based on some rules, and then you can assign your account. So accounts get automatically assigned. Then we have territory hierarchy. So like you have an or hierarchy. So you have a territory, like for instance New Zealand. Under New Zealand, you can have sub territory called South Island, North Island. In North Island, you have further in Auckland, Palmerston North, Wellington. In South Island, you can have Dunedin, Christchurch, Invercargill, right? So you can do that. So that's really based on your business requirement, how you wanted to do that, and it's kind of important. Then once you do that, you can create assignment rules, right? So for instance, I would say anything to do with uh, something like 44 should fall under Manawatu, the zip code. Anything to do with 66 something, right? It should go somewhere else. So you can have something like that. I just give you very, very simplified explanation. However, in real life, it could get more complicated. Just to give you a simple context, right? How we can achieve it. So um, assignment rules will automatically assign your accounts based on the scenario what I'm mentioning, describing at this stage, based on zip code. However, you can add other conditions to it, right? So if you are looking for a simple one, so as a create assignment rule, if it's a 441 something, right, it will go to Manawatu region. So as per your territory. So that's, and then, to promote the team selling, that's one to help you do in a form of collaboration, because obviously sales, people do say that selling is a cutthroat competition. But that being said, it's always helpful when you're selling in a group, because obviously at the end of the day, right, you can often take help from your fellow sales agents, right, to give you some kind of guidance. So it's always good when you are in a collaborative mode. Though that being said, at times you might have to take care of the account alone, but no one stops you from seeking advice, right? Okay, then that's from a very precise perspective when it comes to territory management, because obviously I'm not going to do hands on at this stage because it's not really needed. So just wanted to make you understand this is one of the things that you can do, right? Okay, now forecast with precision, right? This is another thing. Now I've spoken about the pipelines and for in the previous episode, right? Pipeline is something your current sale, your current prospect, and the future prospect, everything your business going to deal with, every kind of customer, future, current, your business going to deal with sits in the pipeline. And forecasting is a kind of a subset of it. It's like saying, hey, I know this customer might be closing the deal, say, in next August, right? Something like that. So it's like a forecasting. So forecasting is important. It will kind of help your business to understand how much money your, let's say, in 6 months your business is going to make, and well, this prospect's going to sign up with you. And a few things also comes into equation when we're talking about forecast, whether your prospects really have money, right? Whether you got all the right approval. whether you followed up correctly, have you answered all of your questions, all of their questions, right? It's very important because what happens, you might demo a great product, but then customers might have few potential customer, let me put that way, might have few questions. But what might happen, right? They email you, and for some reason, the email get lost in in a pile of other emails. So, and imagine you calling the same customer back after 6 months to say, hey, would you be keen to sign up with us? And they can say, hey, we have a few queries, but you guys never got back to us. So you just have to make sure you're proactive enough to engage to engage with your customer, right? You should not leave your customer wondering, what's happening? Why they're not replying to my email? Are they not interested in my sale? So if you are giving that impression to your customer, that is most likely your customer will not be interested in signing up with you. So the forecasting is very important. So the things to support the forecasting has to be in picture, right? Obviously, yes, you can say that, hey, I'm going to sign up with this customer going to sign up with us, which is great. But have you done all your due diligence before you convince your customer to be part of your business, right? So these things you need to factor that. That's why forecasting plays a very important role. Now, how do you determine, right, whether your pipelines are taken care or whether your clients are contacted at the right time? As a sales manager, how do you identify that, right? Obviously, in Salesforce, we have a very simple solution for that. You have dashboards. You can create a dashboard. Dashboards related to pipelines, right? Or related to customer queries, leads, and a lot of things you can do, right? Now, obviously, some customers, or I'm sorry, some companies, they might prefer to use spreadsheet, which is a very bad idea. I don't really see the need of a spreadsheet in 2024, but I understand if you were in back in 1990s. I mean, obviously, I haven't started working that time. I was still in the school, high school. But what I'm trying to say was that in 1990s, let's say, right? I don't know when the Microsoft launched Excel, but let's say for the sake of argument, 1990s Excel was a great hit and people were using it. But in 2024, we are talking about cloud technology, right? Why do you want to export the data to an Excel and let the data stale there, and all kind of uh, forecasting what you're going to make will be based on obsolete data. Instead, why don't you have a dashboard, right? In a Salesforce, the live data, the live prediction, live forecasting information. So everything you can do that using that dashboard. I won't say everything, most of the things when it comes to reporting. However, if you like more, AI-based reporting visualization, then Tableau is there, right? Or you can use Power BI, right? Or whatever other engine you wanted to use. Um, so it's way better than Excel. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's one thing you need to factor that so that you can make your sales process more efficient. At the end of the day, right? Why are we even talking about it? We're talking about this topic so that you, as a business, will have a process in place which will help you deliver uh, better outcomes when it comes to sales process, when it comes to selling, when it comes to attracting more customer, when it comes to when it comes to selling more products, right? If you have a streamlined sales process in place, your agents will be super motivated. They know what they're doing, and your return of investment will be higher. So that's why it's very important that you need to consider perhaps territory management, or to have it, or even if you don't want to consider a Salesforce based option from a territory management perspective, you still need to have a plan in place so that you can work with the right accounts with the help of the right people or the right sales team, right? If you are a Dunedin sales guy, it makes total sense to work with a Dunedin customer because you can go there and meet customer face to face. You can build a local reputation because obviously, it's like a local impression, right? If you are from Dunedin, your customer is from Dunedin, the customer most likely will prefer to talk to someone from Dunedin rather than someone flying from Australia or from the United States, or for that matter from Auckland, right? So that's why it's very important. You need to have that plan in place or process in place if you're not really considering a Salesforce-based territory management operation. But if you do, then it's a pretty perfect solution. So Now, again, the perfect is a subjective term, right? So, so please don't quote me for that to say, hey, this guy always saying, oh, this is perfect, that's perfect. I'm just saying, from a functionality perspective, what we have in Salesforce, territory management is really an efficient solution when it comes to, you know, segregating your account based on territory, modeling it, and even have, like I said, can have an assignment rules that automatically assign the right account to the right territory structure. So that's why I said, Salesforce got you covered. So yeah, so one thing, just keep into consideration, right? Whenever you recommend any tech to any customer as a consultant, one simple piece of advice: never forget to talk about the licensing model, right? Because it's great that you have a fancy product, but if it's cost millions of bucks, and if your potential customer do not have that much money, then it's really a waste of their time, right? You even talking about it. You can you can obviously say this is one of the products available in the market. It's very expensive, but and the customer might say, "Hey, let me see, right? Maybe we can get extra funding, right?" So it's very important that you keep that funding thing into consideration. That's one of the important job of a consultant. Doesn't matter you're a tech consultant, functional consultant, or you're consulting as an architect. It's very important you keep that funding conversation in the back of your mind so that you can make an informed decision uh, before you recommend any solution, right? So that's pretty much I wanted to cover in this episode. Hope it's meaningful. Hope it's useful. I hope you guys have an amazing Tuesday. Adios.